Hello, YouTube, it's me, Mythos, Carl Casey Clark, coming at you with a Transformers special today. I'm finally going to be doing some analysis on Decepticons I showed in the last video, but I got kind of impatient and opened them. Titan returns Gatorface and Croc, and Titans return Quake and Chasm. And I also got a new Transformer today. I got Generations Prowl. Anyway, first off, let's do Quake. Now, it says on the back of the box that the Decepticons unite with Titan Master partners to power up for battle. Chasm opens portals that displace enemies and objects. Decepticon Quake can unleash his seismic attacks and use the power of Chasm to swallow Autobots into teleportation abysses. So he's basically got some sort of vanishing cannon sort of thing going on. See? Yeah. The guy can ride on him. He's actually got quite a lot of little stands. And over here on the side, it says all the other ones that are available. See, there's Autobot Shuffles, Decepticon Croc, Broadside, and Sky Shadow. And of course, I bought Croc. Since the Toys R Us where I live at closed down, I've had to get all my Transformers at Walgreens. And all my toys in general, which is kind of upsetting for me. I was very upset. Anyway, here's the figure. There's a lot going on there, but he's a lot of dark colors. You see? Let's do it around here. Yeah. And then this little guy, his head comes off because it is a Titan Master, Headmaster guy. Yeah, like that. And, you know, he can fold his legs up and down, even though this ones are a little loose. And his arms, they can go up and down, and they can pull out a little bit because they're on a little ball joint. And his head can turn all around. Yeah, and then you got the giant face on the back, like that. Yeah. And he came with two weapons. He came with this sort of assault beam gun looking thing, and this giant cannon, which opens up, and apparently this is supposed to become another seat, but it can't. And my trigger happy Headmaster blowpipe, he got one of the little peg things in here caught in his foot when I tried to put him in here. So now that's a problem. So yeah, do not use the cannon like this and try to put a Headmaster there. His feet will just get stuck, or they won't go on at all. Instead, you can fold it down like this, and it becomes a seat. And there's a little Headmaster place where you can put the little Headmasters. And you do that, and they're technically called a Target Master, which is like a dedicated gunner. Yeah, and see, he sits right in there just fine. And this is like a really nice cannon. I mean, look at that. That's just a really cool design, I think. Kind of basic, but good. And the right hand on this particular one is a little flimsy. I don't know why. He just doesn't want to stay up very much. Anyway, let's get him transformed. See, first you fold the hands in, like so. And then these ball joint articulation movement areas right here with the arms, which go up and down and all around and stuff, they can actually be pushed in and locked into place like that. Next, you take the codpiece area right here and you fold it in, and then you sort of rip him in half like that, and then you put this little flap area thing right here. You put this down so it lines up like that, and then you take this area right here and you pull it further down and it separates in like that, and then you take the knees and pull them out like so, and you fold the feet in, and then, which these have an up and down all around, you know, sort of thing with them because they're on ball joints, and then you just fold these in like that and they lock into place. There's a lot of locking into place with this particular transformer, a lot of the movements, and with the codpiece thing and like that, you can help lock it into place with these little bar things which fold into these slots that are in the hip areas. You gotta make sure this is down all the way. Okay. Alright. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and then you fold those in like that. That goes on. And then you just fold these down and they lock into place somewhat in these little holes right here, from right here. And then you take the large cannon and you just put it right there. And if you want, you can take this little gun thing and put it in right here. And overall, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places to put the headmasters. So you can put them on either of these little peg things right here, or in the big gun, or like what I'm going to do right now, put the little guy in the little cockpit thing. See? It's riding in it. Now, I made a unilateral decision with this particular toy, and I decided that he would be my trigger happy and blowpipe Titan's Return figure, which I have a separate video on with a podcast with me and a friend talking about him and other Transformers stuff. That'll be up soon. Anyway, I decided to make these two partners, Land and Sky, Brawn and Speed. Also, Trigger Happy is significantly smarter than Quake, even when you count in Chasm. It's like, by himself, Trigger Happy is still... Wow, he's 3 points higher than Quake. And that's without his headmaster. And the interesting thing is that the original description for Trigger Happy on the Transformers Wiki is that he has brain damage. He's got what I like to call Gary Busey disorder, which is incredibly impulsive and just goes around blasting everything in sight and is completely nuts. Now, I don't know if this has also affected his intelligence or not, or if he was so smart that getting synapse damage to Transformers brain damage, damage to his brain module, somehow he was so smart that having that brain damage happen still left him with a point, with a 6. Because if you compare the stats, yeah. See, each of them come with these little collector's cards. And on the back, yeah. But yeah, I also kept the box anyway because I really like boxes, particularly ones with really cool art on them. But you see, if you look at his stats, it says he has an 8 on physical power, a 3 in speed, a 4 in intelligence, and a 9 in firepower. And that's without Chasm. When he's with Chasm, his physical power goes up to 11, his speed goes up to 8, and his intelligence goes up to 7, and his firepower goes up to 14. Yeah. So he's a pretty heavy hitter. He's just kind of dumb. I imagine him sounding a lot like G1 Grimlock. Me quake. Me fight good. Me make things go boom. Me smash and shoot and make boom. Yeah. Okay, now we're moving on to our second one here. Croc. His box is a little bit more damaged, but it still looks pretty freaking awesome. I'm gonna look at that. And turn him around. And in his line, it talks about Repugnus, Quake, Broadside, and Sky Shadow. Yeah, this guy is actually my first Beast Changer Transformer. He's got a lot of really weird gimmicks to him that I usually don't see, and his Headmaster unit's actually vastly different as well. And says that the Decepticons unite with Titan Master partners to power up for battle. Any Autobot that looks into the eyes of Gatorface, his Headmaster, has their systems locked. So I'm guessing he induces a fear paralysis or something. That gives the Decepticon Croc an easy target for his pulverizing attacks. Yeah. Croc. I wonder if Crocs count as a Dinobot. Anyway, you had to pop his head on to his alligator head. You had to pop it onto the body once you got him out of the box, which was kind of weird. But I've heard about certain Transformers that have to have that gimmick. I hear that the Titans figures have those gimmicks in a big way, which makes sense because they're Titan figures and they're big. Yeah, big. But yeah. I don't know. Does Croc count as a Dinobot? I mean, everyone says that alligators are really freaking ancient and crocodiles and stuff, so is he technically a Dinobot? I don't know. Anyway, sorry, I had to retransform into the robot form. Anyway, I think he reminds me a lot of the Insecticons. The way he visually looks. The G1 Insecticons. And see, you have this weird neck thing right here. And you have to pop this onto it. The crocodile head. Just pop it right on. And it moves all around 360 degrees. But usually you have to keep it like this because this is how it will look right when you transform him. Now, a lot of the stuff with him pops right off. Like these weird claw sleeve things he's got going on, they pop right off. His hands, same difference. I don't know what the deal was with him. Anyway. Yeah, see, like they pop right off. These hands. See? Didn't even try. I don't know what Hasbro was doing there. I mean, visually, it's a very cool looking Transformer. Very unique looking. With his G1 Insecticon paint job that he has going on there. That's just very interesting. But yeah, a lot of that pops right off. See, look, this pops right off too. But thankfully it pops right back on. Anyway, let's transform him now. He's got these really weird little booty things going on. They just pop in and out randomly. And he's got a lot of movement, you know, up, down, with his legs and arms. Though his elbows are a little stuck. They don't move pretty quick. But it twists all around in both areas, and hands go up and down, and his elbows move, his shoulders move up and down and all around, and yeah, you can move his waist around, and his head, of course, so it goes all the way around because it's a little headmaster. But yeah, so you got to push these little booties in, and you take the head off, and the way his headmaster is designed is very unique because it's more of a curved head instead of the weird pointy thing. So, you know, the sort of Optimus framed heads they had. His arms look different, and they pull up and out, and they're all a little ball joint, and he can move his legs up and down and bend them like that, though it's a little stuck. His head moves all the way around and stuff. See, there's a close-up of his head. He's very bright green colors. Yeah. Anyway, I push these little booties in, and what you need to do now is close off his legs like that, push them together, and then move them over like this after you move the head down like so, and then you can just move these up, move these legs up like so, yeah, and then you move these in that. Yeah, you gotta move these up so that the scales line up. Yeah, and then you push the hands in, and then you just twist these around and up and up. Now to complete the look, there's his tail, which has a little cannon thing that's removable in it, and it's got a little handle. See, it's got a little handle right here so that other Transformers can hold it, and they can have like this giant cannon thing, and then this also comes out and it can be used as a separate weapon. So I like to keep them together because it just looks really cool. And then you put this little hole thing on this combined peg from when you put the two leg sections together. It's over in the knee area. Now right here we've got some very soft plastic, like a little rubber actually almost. Yeah, very rubbery dome. And inside is a little cockpit for, you know, the headmaster. And there's not very many places for a headmaster to chill out on this figure. There's one here, and then the cockpit. And that's it. So you can't really do much. You can't really have him carry too many headmasters around. But overall, it's just a really cool looking figure. Very unique looking. Out of the waves of Transformers I've seen, you know, recently with the Titans Return moniker on them. You see the little guys in there now. He has the most unique appearance so far. And if we look at his stats, we will see that he has a 9 in strength, a 2 in speed, a 6 in intelligence, and a 6 in firepower. But when with Croc, when he's with Gatorface, he has a 13 in strength, a 4 in speed, which makes him pretty much twice as fast, but still really low. He gains 1 point in brain power, giving him a 7, and then, which makes him still smarter than, Quake. And his firepower goes all the way up to 10. That's a pretty big boost right there. Yeah, 4 points. I guess he's one of those smart crocodiles, kind of. I mean, it's still smarter than most Dinobots usually are. Now, let's move on to Prowl. Now, this is the Generation 1 Transformers Generations Prowl. This is the basic one that doesn't really come with anything. But it says, with the brilliant strategist Prowl making the battle plans, the Autobots can invade any Decepticon base. And this is a 6-stepper. Visually, he looks like Generation 1 Prowl, because that's who he's supposed to be. Though I might have someone like Wake Angel paint him for me to be animated colors, maybe, because that's like my favorite version of Prowl. I'm pretty sure it's probably most people's favorite version of the character, because that was just like a really well done version. The one from Transformers Animated. Definitely better than the one that's in the current G1 comics. Anyway, let's get Prowl out. Opening the box really carefully. Alright. Now, here's Prowl. He's pretty big. I'd say he is actually slightly bigger than my Optimus figure. I think. Wait, let me see. Slightly, I think. No, wait, they're about the same size. I think Prowl's like maybe an inch bigger. I'm very surprised about that. Okay. I guess this Optimus figure just became Orion Pax. Now let's get these little ties off. Be very careful not to scratch the figure. Alright. Alright, I got Prowl out. Let's see. He's, oh, his chest just comes right up, doesn't it? Okay, wow, his chest just wants to slide right up. Not really a lot of locking in place there, you think. Okay, let's see. Yeah, he can hold most Transformers guns and swords and whatnot, because they use a universal peg system. Okay, well, I guess I have to transform him, because that's what he seems to want me to do. Okay, he's very rigid. A little stiff. Wow, that's very interesting right there, that his arms just slide up like that. And his hands are more visually seen than Optimus's, which are hid behind rims. See, if you look at the Optimus figure, Prowls are fully visible. Alright. This will just fold that up there like that. Alright, and we just fold these in like so. Fold these in, like down and through and like that. Articulation's a little stiff on him. Okay, just fold these in. Alright. Very easy. Very good. He looks good. He looks very good. Yes, Prowl looks very good. Now, this Prowl, even though he's the Generation 1 Prowl, I'm probably going to treat him like the one that was in War for Cybertron timeline, the Inline timeline, because visually he had this paint job. Yeah. I wonder what that makes his stats. Let's take a look. Yeah, that Prowl figure didn't look very good anyway, the one for the Prime toy line. Like his face looked kind of like Wheeljacks with his battle mask on, and I really don't like those. Yeah. Oh, I'm looking at the picture of the guy in game, and he looks pretty visually similar. It says that Prowl's an Autobot police officer, an experienced fighter who joined Optimus Prime in a war against the Decepticons, contributing his knowledge of combat in urban areas. Prowl acted as a go-between. It's going down a little bit. Okay. Yeah. For the civilian High Council guards and the various city-state militias. He allied with Optimus during Megatron's attack on Praxis. During the Siege of Icon, Prowl informed Optimus that Megatron was aboard the Trypticon station. Yeah, there's a lot more here, but it just goes on and on. And on. And on. Anyway, he appears in the game Transformers universe. The novel series one's Exodus, Exiles, and Retribution. Now, it says that his stats for G1 were 7979949 with a total of 63. Wow, the Japanese are just really weird with that. There's some really weird stats. Of course, the standard kind don't use stat cards anymore, the ones with the Robots in Disguise line. Yeah. There's a lot of different versions of Prowl. I guess that makes sense. I mean, he was one of the more recurring characters in G1 for a while. Visually, the animated, the RID version of Jazz looks kind of similar to Prowl. Weird. Weird. Now, it says, like, overall, Prowl probably has pretty decent stats, I'd imagine. I mean, you know, if we factor out certain things, you know, like leadership and courage, those things aren't even used anymore. So, let's see. We go by, say, his Transformers Energon stats. We'd be looking at a 7 for strength, an 8 for intelligence, a 10 for speed, a 5 for endurance, a 7 for rank, an 8 for courage, a 7 for fire blast, and an 8 for skill. But, you know, we're going to be removing courage and rank from that, so... Also, I don't think he would have a 10 in speed, at least not this version of him. So... I don't know. Because that's his Energon stats, and, you know, that's always going to be a little different. You know, each version would have different stats, of course. But, you know, it's hard to find them on the drop of a hat. Especially, you know, since a lot of people don't just show off card stats for their Transformers, which is, I don't know, kind of odd to me because they all have cards. Well, except for the RID ones. I hope they bring that back with Cyberverse. I really do, because I enjoyed having those little card things. Yeah. And while the Prowl's in his car form, we are going to get him back into his robot form. We just... Actually, you know, now that I look at his car form, he looks a lot like... and is actually transformed a lot like my Strong Arm car. It's the Warrior Class Strong Arm. Basic version, first edition release. Notice me, senpai! Is basically Strong Arm's whole thing. She wants Bumblebee to notice her. She wants her former teacher to notice her. She wants Optimus to notice her. She wants... yeah, she probably wants Prowl to notice her, because now that Prowl's here... Yeah. And she wants RC to notice her too. She's the Notice Me Senpai Transformer cop. Yeah. They also transform very similarly. Okay, just pop these out. I guess as of now, Prowl is my tallest Transformer. At least for now. God, this just doesn't want to stay up. Seriously, it just doesn't want to stay up. It just want to stay in, you know, it's crazy. Size-wise, this is definitely like a Voyager size. And you compare him to a Warrior size figure and towers right over poor little Strong Arm. She gets stuck. Okay, let's move these out like so. And move her breastplate up. Spin this around. Push these out. These go down. Breastplate back up. And there's strong arm transformed. And she also doesn't want to stay. Because of these weird rim things she has on her back. You pull them down, they kind of look like a cape. But don't put them down, they look like a jetpack. Yeah, she is, he is a lot taller than her. Yes. Just look at that. Comparison from when their feet are. Prowl's a lot bigger. He is bigger than every other Transformer I have. Go by where Optimus is at. And they're around the same size. Though Prowl is slightly taller by a few centimeters. I think I'll let him hold on to Quake's gun. After all, Quake still has a giant cannon on his back, so... Anyway, this is Mythos signing out, and have a good day, everyone.